What's better than $2 Tuesday at Sports Memo? How about Freebie Friday? We can't go any lower than free, and each and every Friday we'll hand select a best bet from one of the hottest handicappers on the site and give it out for free. All you have to do is each and every Friday, head over to sportsmemo.com. The Freebie Friday will be listed on the homepage, and you'll be just a click away from a free bet.
Welcome into First Pitch, WagerTalk's premier MLB betting show for Thursday night slate. It is June 3rd. I'm Drew Martin, your host, joined by Marco D'Angelo and Dave Koken of WagerTalk.com. We got great baseball analysis coming to you for 4 games tonight. Best bets at the end. First up, Marco D'Angelo. We get him on Thursdays, guys, so it's always a good show on Thursdays. This guy's top play up, 4% MLB with full analysis at WagerTalk.com. Welcome in, Marco. How you feeling today, buddy?
I'm doing good, Drew. Glad to be here. Appreciate the nice intro. And, we do have a nice 4% play up today. Went 2-0 in baseball last night, our American League game of the week. I wish they were all that easy. We had the Oakland A's last night. So we got another big play tonight, and let's keep it rolling.
Let's keep it rolling. Absolutely. We're talking a little Del Mar, Solana Beach before the show. And Dave, Marco, heck, even myself trying to get out there to the races All-Star weekend. But Dave, welcome in. You're hot right now on the diamond, buddy.
Yeah, pretty good lately. 10-3 last handful of days. Had the Cubs yesterday, which produced nicely. And have 3 plays tonight. One of them I'll be talking about here on the show. Also have a hockey game tonight, which will hopefully get back on track with those. Hockey's been a little rough in the playoffs. Had a great regular season, a phenomenal regular season. I think it was plus 91 units. And looking to get hot in the playoffs. I think I got a good one tonight, so hopefully it gets there.
Hey, check out the ice. Dave Koken also on the diamond. It pays to watch the show, guys, breaking down one of his client plays on the show. Dave, let's start off here. We got the Minnesota Twins, Kansas City Royals. First game up here in the AL Central, 8:10 Eastern start. J.A. Happ versus Bubic, 2 lefties going after it. Almost a pick-em price here, seeing a little money towards the Kansas City Royals. Their lineup has been hot, top 5 in baseball last 7 days here, Dave. Minus 115 I'm seeing for the Royals at home, total of 9. What are you thinking here, Twins and Royals tonight, Dave?
Well, the Royals are raking, huh? I mean, they're smashing the ball all over the place. That lineup's looking pretty good right now. They're getting a little bit of pitching. I don't know how long that holds up. But Bubic has been a surprise so far. Lefty, who was kind of spotty in his debut last year, but has looked better. They've won both his starts since they put him in the rotation. The odds makers have caught up with the Royals in a hurry. It doesn't take long for them to adjust. And they've kind of put this one to a level where I don't think I can play it. If the Royals were still home dogs, I might be interested. At this price, I think they've basically priced me out. Minnesota's still got the better lineup, and Happ is certainly capable of at least controlling or containing the Royals. I don't want to go against Kansas City. I'd like to play on them. But you have to get value in baseball, and I don't think it's there in this game. So I'll call it a lean on the Royals, but that's about it.
Yeah, Marco, I mean, the Royals, like to Dave's point, they have taken some money here. But let's face it, the Royals up 3 units on the season. Minnesota, one of, if not the most, in terms of money burners this season, down 15 units year to date. Not a team I'm really looking to bet. I like the Royals here at this small favorite price. Marco, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I agree. And, what Dave said about, the market catching up to Kansas City, it is. And I think the market's finally starting to adjust to Minnesota because everybody had expectations that Minnesota wouldn't be as bad as they've been. And just when you thought Minnesota turned the corner, had a little bit of a winning streak, here they are right back, lose 3 out of 4 again. And if you look at it, as Dave said, Kansas City smashing the baseball right now. Last 5 games, they've scored 36 runs in the last 5 games. And that doesn't bode well for Minnesota tonight because they're a team that's been giving up runs. They've allowed 5 runs or more in 5 of their last 6 games. And J.A. Happ on the mound tonight, although he's very capable, he hasn't been doing it on the road. His ERA is over 7, and he's got a whip of 1.52. Those are not numbers that I want any part of as far as betting Minnesota. And I'll throw a stat out there on you with Minnesota this season. We know how bad they've been. But when they've been in this price range, that small competitive price, plus 125 to minus 125, they're just 6-17 this season. I can't back them. It's Kansas City or it's pass. I'll go the way Dave said it. Let's go lean Kansas City.
The big lean towards the Royals tonight. So we got next game up here, guys. All three late night actions. We're hitting them all here. 9:40 Eastern, 6:40 Pacific here, Marco. We get the Seattle Mariners and the LA Angels. Jesus Sheffield versus Canning going for the Angels. Saw the Angels as minus 150. Now they're as high as minus 160. Total of 9 here. The M's getting blanked last night. You think they're worth a shot here as a big underdog price? Talking about Seattle here, Marco?
No, I can't jump on them. After winning 5 in a row, Seattle's lost the last 2 games by 6 runs each, and they've given up 18 runs in the last 2 games. That means, the bullpen's got, worked hard the last couple games, and that doesn't bode well for tonight because they got Sheffield on the mound. He's been lit up in his 4 road starts. He's got an ERA of 6.75, a whip Drew of 1.87. I'm sorry, if you're putting almost 2 base runners on per inning, bad things are going to happen, and they have happened to Sheffield. I don't see him going deep into this game. And if you look at the Angel starter, Griffin Channing, he's had his moments, but he's got an ERA at home of 5.27. I just can't back him here. He's got a high whip as well, 1.60. So where am I going? I'm going to look at the total. You got the Angels at home. We know they can score a ton of runs. We know that bullpen is not stellar. So I look at this one, and I've got a stat for you with Seattle. Over the last 2 seasons, when Seattle was on the road on a night game, they're on 23-9 run to the over. That's the only way I can look at this game. I'm taking this one over the total with the Seattle Mariners and the Angels.
Nice trend there, Marco. And Dave, both of these bullpens not very good here. Bottom 10 by my ratings, maybe point towards the over as well. What are you thinking tonight on the West Coast, Dave?
Well, I can't argue against that. You look at Sheffield. First of all, the home team is 7-2 in all his starts. So he doesn't, he does okay at home. He does not pitch well on the road. Canning, a little better at home than on the road, but nothing to write home about. And his adjusted numbers, his analytics, 5.99 at home. That's pretty bad. He's had a lot of problems first time through the order, an OPS of almost 900. Sheffield, not so bad the first time through the order, but the second time through the order, he gets really high. It's 954 OPS the second time through the order. That's bad. Neither bullpen's trustworthy. I can't argue against the over. The only thing that kept me off it is the Angels' last 7 days OPS is 58. That's terrible. Maybe getting back home will help that. But it's an awfully high number. I just couldn't actually bet the over, but that's certainly the way I would be looking in this game. Good chance that you do see lots of runs tonight.
All right, good stuff, Dave. Guys, 2 more games here, and we got action on both of them. So kind of a second half show for you here with the Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants, and the New York Mets, San Diego Padres, and the 2 nightcaps to end it. Thanks for joining us live. Huge shout out to the chat box. As always, Abby, Ty, Brian, Dave, all in the house. Thanks for joining us live. If you're liking the content, guys, please smash the like button. It does help us out. And if you're watching on replay, feel free to comment below what you're looking to bet and why. Heading to the West Coast now, Dave, we got the Chicago Cubs and the San Francisco Giants. Looks like 9:45 Eastern, 6:45 Pacific first pitch here. Zach Davies, Anthony DeSclafani on the hill for the Giants, minus $1.25. That's the Giants, 8.5 being the total. We got the Cubs and Giants late night here, Dave. What are you thinking on the West Coast?
Boy, Zach Davies had himself a heck of a month of May. Some pretty good numbers for him, but mostly at home. There's a home road dichotomy with Davies this year. He's been good at Wrigley Field. On the road, though, mid-6 ERA and xFIP 5.43. So maybe it's not quite as bad as it looks, but it's still pretty bad. DeSclafani was pitching great baseball, but he's kind of gone a little bit south in his last couple of starts, so you wonder if there might be something going on there. I think the current form of the two teams indicates you're going to see some runs in this game. Last 7 days for both the Cubs and Giants, OPS or WRC plus in excess of 100. 100's average, and it's actually 100's better than average this year because there has been a ton of offense. So I'm kind of looking at 95 as more the average. Both teams well above that the last 7 days. Two pitchers who I think you could call questionable. I would look at the over in this game. I think you're going to get some runs in San Francisco tonight.
All right, maybe looking towards the over here. And Marco, you interested in getting involved? Cubs and Giants tonight?
Yeah, I am. And one of the angles that I'm going to start with in this game, you always hear me talk about the angle that I like to fade teams returning home that first game off of a road trip. One of my other angles I like to look at is I like to take a team the first game of a road trip if they're on a winning streak, a team that's playing well. Because for me, I think the mental aspect of that team starting the road trip is, hey, we're on a winning streak. Let's keep this thing going, carry that momentum out on the road. I like to bet them in game one. That's the Cubs. Now, I want to point one thing out that Dave said about Zach Davies. It is true. If you just look at the ERA on Zach Davies, he's got a bad ERA on the road. But if you go back and look at the individual starts for Davies, those two road starts, the first two of the season, he was absolutely putrid. Since then, he has pitched very well. He's had 3 straight good road games and against a couple good teams. And I'm going to give you another stat on Zach Davies. He is a guy in his career that has been very streaky. A lot of pitchers, when they throw a tremendous game, the next game you want to fade them. They bounce. Not Davies. Following the game where he gave up 1 run or less, his team in his starts are 30-14 in his career. He's coming off a good start, and actually, if you look at it, Zach Davies has now had 6 straight starts in which he's given up 3 runs or less, and I should say 5 of those 6 he gave up 1 run or less. He has been dealing it recently. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cubs here plus money. And the other thing I'm going to point out, we always talk baseball is not so much of situational as far as teams being flat and so forth. But I am going to point out, as far as the Giants go, they had that big series with the Dodgers. They played the Dodgers twice, like in back-to-back weeks. Had that big series with the Dodgers. Then turned around and had a quick set with the LA Angels, another California team. This is the first series that no rivalries, so to speak. I think this is a bad spot for San Francisco. I don't like their pitcher as much as I like Davies. I'll go ahead and take the Cubs here and ride the streak and get the plus money with the Cubs.
I like it, Marco. Yeah, Desclafani here talking about the Giants pitcher. His velocity's been down as well. And the Cubs, like you talked about, on that win streak, hitting the road. I'm looking towards the Cubbies as well. We might revisit this in best bets. But, guys, got one more game here. The nightcap, 10:10 Eastern, 7:10 Pacific, first pitch here. Marco, we got the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres coming to us from Petco Park. Walker versus Darvish, good pitching matchup here. Seeing minus 175-ish for the Padres. Of course, make sure to shop around, guys, in a low total, 6.5. Whenever I see a low total, Marco, and a huge underdog here, at least a big underdog, I'm always interested in that plus price towards the Mets. But interested in your take here in the nightcap, Marco.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is clearly the best pitching matchup on the card tonight. You've got 2 guys that are absolutely dealing it. And let's start with the first thing there. The San Diego Padres are returning home from a road trip. So you know what's going to put me starting to look at the Mets in this game. And it was a long road trip. This was a 3-city, 10-game road trip. And guys, there were no days off on that road trip and no day off after returning home. A lot of times when teams have that long road trip like that, the league will at least give them a day off coming back East Coast, West Coast. Not for the Padres. So big disadvantage for them situationally, scheduling-wise. Now let's look at the pitching matchup. Walker for the Mets has been absolutely the nuts this year. This guy just doesn't give anything up, Drew. I look at his pitching performance and his numbers, and there's no way that I'm going to go against him in this spot. Then you look at Darvish and the way he's pitching. He's coming off his worst game of the season. That was a 5-inning, 4-earned-run game. You go all the other games after that, and this guy has been dealing it just as good as Walker. So where am I going to go in this one? Do I want to take that big price with the Mets? Yeah, that's tempting. I would look at that. And there's some other ways to look at it, too. If you want to not get the big price on the Mets, you might want to take a look at maybe doing the plus 1.5 runs and, what figures to be a tight game. But I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go for the under. And I'm going to take this one under the total. Yeah, it's a low number, but I'll tell you what. If you're looking for offense, I don't see it in this one. I think this is going to be one of those old-fashioned 3-2 games, a pitcher's duel. Every pitch is going to mean something. Old school baseball. I like that. I don't know about, Dave, if you'd rather watch a slugfest or a pitcher's duel. For me, I'd like to see the pitcher's duel.
I like it, Marco. Great breakdown in terms of the scheduling aspect as well. Chilly night, Petco Park, Pitchers Park here on the West Coast. Can't argue with the under here, Dave. But, hey, the plus price on the Mets, that's the way I'm looking. How are you feeling tonight in the nightcap, Dave?
Well, let's talk about the injuries first. Another one for the Mets last night. Villar does something to the hamstring, so I don't know what they're going to do at third base tonight because J.D. Davis is still out. Padres, Tatis might be back in the lineup tonight. It's not a certainty. It's a mild oblique, very mild. I don't think they'll play him unless they're quite confident he's not going to do any more damage because you cannot afford to lose that player for an extended period of time. Bad collision in the outfield yesterday against the Cubs, and one of the weirdest plays you'll see all season. Kim and Pham both got hurt. I don't think it was serious for either one. Pham has to undergo a scan for a potential jaw injury. Kim managed to avoid a concussion, but I don't know that either one of them is going to play tonight. So both teams are shorthanded. Grisham's already out for the Padres. This one's all about the pitching. Marco hit it with Taijuan Walker. He's been tremendous. Darvish has had a great season. He's off a bad start, but generally speaking, good pitchers, and Darvish is certainly a good pitcher, will bounce back from a good start. Both lineups appear to be a little bit compromised, so I can't argue against what Marco did in terms of his opinion on the game. I agree, but I'm also willing to take the price here. I mean, this is a gigantic price. With the Padres coming home off that long road trip, they're not exactly playing their best baseball right now. I think they'll do okay in this series, but I think they're vulnerable in game one with Taijuan Walker pitching the best baseball of his life for the Mets. Do I think the Padres should be favored here? Yes, absolutely. But do I think they should be favored by this much? Nah. You can get plus 170 on the first 5 with Walker. I think that's worth the gamble. At that kind of a price, even if you figure that they're probably, that they're rightful underdogs in the game, it's not by that much. So I think there's value at the price, plus 170 on the Mets in the first 5. And I'll just let you know that's my best bet here on the show. And it's also a play that is going out to my clients tonight.
All right, good stuff, Dave. The client play here, the best bet as well, plus 170. A reminder out there, if you're new to betting baseball, risking 100, and if the Cubs are leading after the 5th inning, you win $170 on the kickback. Dave Koken, 10-3, his last 13 in MLB. He had a great NHL season as well. Dave, 4 best bets. Is there anything here you wanted to add to it, and any kind of final thoughts for the show before we shut it down?
No, I think that's about it. I see the Rays managed to get to Garrett Cole for a couple of runs, so that's worth noting. It's in the 4th inning as we're recording this. When Cole gives up more than a run, that's a big deal. This Tampa Bay team, geez, boy, I'm telling you what, you're taking your life in your hands if you bet against them.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. I mean, 20-9 on the road, 16-3 their last 19, up 11 units, top in the American League. Not to mention they were the AL pennant winner last season.
Yep.
I don't know why people are stepping in front of them. I mean, plus 180 today. I didn't get that, Dave.
I didn't bet it, and I might regret that. It would have been a first 5 bet had I taken it. I just didn't want to go against Cole. But, I mean, the Rays are just flat out better than the Yankees right now. And so far, so good as far as that side's concerned in this game. we'll see what happens the rest of the way. And the best bet again is the Mets first 5 plus 170.
Great points there from Dave Koken. Best bet on the Mets. Check out his work at WagerTalk.com. 10-3 his last 13 on the diamond. Also a great NHL season. So NHL and MLB available there at WagerTalk.com. Experts page, Dave Koken. We also got Marco D'Angelo, his 4% game of the week up in baseball. Check him out, WagerTalk.com. Experts page, Marco D'Angelo. Marco, throw it over to you for best bets and final thoughts here, buddy. Where are you heading?
Well, I'm going to head to the same game that Dave is, but I'm going to go ahead and go with that under. I broke it down for you just about every which way earlier, but I saved one stat. I had to have something to say during the best bets, and we've got a stat on the Padres this year. At home, after scoring 2 runs or less this season, how about 9-1 to the under? Let's go ahead and take under. And let's hope it's maybe 2-1 Mets, so me and Dave both get there. How's that?
Hey, that works. So a low-scoring game with the underdog on top, at least after 5 here. I like it, Marco. So that's in the nightcap, guys. Also a late game here that I'm going for best bets. We talked about this one as well. Cubs and Giants. Make sure to shop around. Looking at the Wager Talk odds screen right now, you can get the Cubs as low as plus 108 at FanDuel. You can get them as high as plus 118 at Westgate and a couple offshores here. So it really pays to check out the Wager Talk odds screen. I'll take them high watermark here. Cubs plus 118, widely available at plus 115. And talking about Zach Davies, the starter here for the Cubs, his ERA at the end of April was 9.4. Now it's 4.6. To talk about his recency performance, he's a lot better pitcher now. Actually, his last 2 starts, he went 10 innings, only 1 earned run and 6 hits, so he's in fine form. On the other side of things, DeSclafani, yes, a solid pitcher in MLB, but look at his strikeout percentage. April, 25% strikeout rate, and in May, only an 18% strikeout rate. And add that with his walk rate doubling from the month of April to May. So recency performance, DeSclafani not nearly as good. His velocity is down. His swinging strike percentage is down. And we're getting the Cubs right now. They are hot. And the Padres, which Marco talked about earlier in the show, what a 10-game, 3-city road trip, their first game back, no day off. This is a fade opportunity. Or excuse me, that was the Padres. This is the Giants. But still, I think the Cubs as the underdog here. Number 1 pen in bullpen, their bullpen, as I am messing up my best bet here. But I did love that stat there, Marco. So love that with the Padres. But guys, we got recap for best bets. I am on the Cubs, the plus 115 price here for all the points mentioned outside of that 10-game road trip for the Padres. Actually, we got the Marco D'Angelo on the Mets and Padres under 6.5 and same game here. Dave Koken, Mets first 5 plus 170. So some underdogs and an under on tonight's card. For Dave Koken, Marco D'Angelo, I am Drew Martin. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Please smash that like button on your way out. Best of luck with your bets. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Come back and join us. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
What's better than $2 Tuesday at Sports Memo? How about Freebie Friday? We can't go any lower than free, and each and every Friday we'll hand select a best bet from one of the hottest handicappers on the site and give it out for free. All you have to do is each and every Friday, head over to sportsmemo.com. The Freebie Friday will